Thank you for joining us. I'm Brittany Johnson.
And I'm Brian Curtis. We begin with a story that's affecting all of us tonight. A new report says inflation isn't dropping as fast as economists had hoped, despite the Fed's efforts to cool soaring prices.
Yes, and we're talking basic costs like food, rent. They remain high. Budgets are stretched thin, and the Dow just had its worst day in years.
There is another problem on the horizon. Railroad workers may go on strike, throwing a new wrench into the workings of the economy.
Tonight, we're digging into what all of this means for North Texans. Here's Meredith Yeomans.
Don't let the enthusiasm fool you. Stocks tanked on Wall Street Tuesday after an ugly August inflation report.
What we saw happen on Wall Street today was a little scary. And, one of the challenges is that the economists had predicted that the economy was going to be getting better with inflation. And obviously, that report did not reflect that today.
In the month of August, overall inflation was 8.3% higher than a year ago, while the consumer price index edged up 0.1% since July. Stocks fell sharply on the news. The Dow tumbled nearly 1,300 points.
And that is the biggest drop that we've seen since June of 2020.
Many economists were looking for prices to fall, but instead the cost of food, rent, and cars continue to climb higher, offsetting a sizable drop in gas prices in August.
Food is a big cost. Gasoline has been and will be again. I'm just very nervous about the economy.
Potentially compounding problems. The looming threat of a strike by about 60,000 railroad workers if a deal over pay and scheduling isn't reached by Friday, a move that would further snarl the supply chain.
That'll just kill the economy. We can't. We got to settle that and not let them strike.
So what should investors do now? Financial advisor Cathy DeWitt Dunn says two things. Don't panic and have a plan.
The last thing you want to do is to sell when you're at the bottom.
Meredith Yeomans, NBC5.
And today's report is putting more pressure on the Federal Reserve to increase interest rates again when it meets next week. Mortgage rates hit a 14-year high at over 6%.
There is news tonight about the